Welcome back to the 6th Gear Garage. You've got to protect your vehicle from corrosion due to road salt and de-icing chemicals. Otherwise, they're just going to rust away. And if you're a subscriber to this channel, you've seen a lot of that, especially with these classic Toyotas. So I've been using fluid film for about 10 years now since I've been into these old Toyotas, and I previously made a video where I showed how to undercoat your vehicle using a bulk container of fluid film and a spray gun. I'll put a link to that one down in the description. Today, I'm going to show how to protect the body of your vehicle from corrosion. Once again, using fluid film and this wand. This flexible wand has small holes in the end that spray fluid film out in every direction. Here's a close look in slow motion. A vehicle's body has all kinds of spaces and cavities that you can't see where moisture and salt can get in and cause rust, especially around spot welds. And I'm talking about the insides of quarter panels, doors, rocker panels, tailgates, fenders, even hoods. So today, I'm going to go through this vehicle with this wand and fluid film and access all these areas and coat the inside with fluid film to hopefully prevent any rust from happening in the future. Let's start with the rocker panels. I'm using a plastic trim removal tool so I don't scratch the paint. And these covers are usually held in by a few clips. Here's the aerosol can with the spray wand nozzle on top. Just put the tip in the rocker panel, then run it as far back as it'll go, spray, and pull it back. And same thing the other way. One more right inside the hole. Same thing for this one. Only need to go toward the front this time. And last one. I try to get all the way to the door jamb, even go up there a little. Alright, this one's done. Here's a good way to spray inside the door jamb. Old vehicles, especially Toyotas, like to rust here too. All the way up top. And spray. And down to the bottom. A little more. Done. On the back door, there's 2 more holes to spray in the rocker panel. I repeated the exact same steps I did to protect the front rocker panel and door jamb. Now let's protect the doors. I'll start by popping off the door panel with the trim removal tool. I only need to remove the bottom, not the entire door panel. I can spray right into these clip holes. I'll try to go straight up first. Pop the wand on the can. Here, spray a little in this drain hole too. Now I'm running the wand all the way forward to the front of the door. It's easier to snake into places when it's not attached to the can. And spray. Whoa, got a little wild on that one. I'll go up the front drain hole as well. And now I'm going into the front mounting hole for the panel clip. The door's done. While I'm up here, inside this little opening is a giant open space behind the fender. You can see this opening goes all the way down the length of the door. and gets real big at the bottom. That's a great space to hold water and salt. Moving on to the rear door. I have one of the panel mounting holes right here, all the way in, and spray on the way out. Add a little extra right at the opening. Now I'm going toward the front of the door. I did the exact same thing in another mounting hole at the front of the door. And then I like to spray along the entire edge of the door where there's a seam, all the way down and across the bottom, behind the rubber weather stripping. Back up to the fender here, I could pop out the corner lamp and look at the access I have to the inner fender. The 80 series use metal inner fenders instead of the plastic liners like most modern vehicles. And that means seams and spot welds, which is where rust likes to start. Oh, look at this. I have a little bit of surface rust in here already. I'll give it a good spray of fluid film. So I only have 2 more of these aerosol cans. That is a huge area, which will use a lot of that. So here I'm going to use the old spray gun, and I poured some fluid film in from the gallon container. I'm going to really hose it down. Alright, look at that. Nice and thick. And it went way back. All over the air intake tube too. It's still misty in here. There are a couple holes on the side of the engine bay that I can get in with the wand and spray behind the intake tube where I couldn't access with a gun. Ideally, you want both methods. Same for the underside of the vehicle. Gun is good overall, but the wand is good for any openings in the frame. I'll spray a little in these hood hinges too. Another opening back here. I'm not even sure where this goes. Next, I sprayed around the engine bay with the gun, since it was all accessible. The aerosol cans are a lot more expensive than the bulk gallon. Toyota hoods love to rust up under here. I've got holes up here in the front corners and the back corners, all the way around the hood. Spray behind this rubber too. These can trap salt and cause rust. While I do the underside of the vehicle before every winter, the hidden areas don't need to be done as often because they don't get wet every time it rains. Look, there's a little opening that leads between the cowl and the fender. Salt could easily end up there. It even foamed up a little. The aerosol does that. The bulk sprayed from the gun doesn't foam up like that. I'll go in the cowl too. Yeah, the aerosols cost more, but you save so much time not having to take everything apart to spray inside with this wand. Tailgate time! So many holes. I sprayed into each hole all the way around the tailgate. One more thing here, and I did this a while ago. I sprayed all the way across the bottom of the tailgate. Gotta protect that seam. I unscrewed this metal trim piece and pulled back this rubber weather strip. And I'll give it a quick coat across this pinch seam here. Next, I'll hop in the back here. This Land Cruiser has the rear air conditioning, so it's really cramped back behind this panel. But I want to get back in all these corners as well. And I did the same thing for the other side. One more thing is the rain gutters. These will definitely collect salt. So I sprayed a bead of fluid film all the way down these to be safe. These gutters actually had some marks in them already because this 80 had the OEM roof rack at some point before it was imported from Japan. I wouldn't mind putting another rack on it one day. When I was doing this gutter on the other side, I noticed a problem. Rust. Probably from chips in the paint. I just put some dabs of grease on those to seal them up until I get a chance to fix them the right way. And that's grinding down, etching primer, and touch-up paint. Up here in the mirrors, I have some chips that are starting to look nasty. These bases are aluminum, so they won't rust, but salt will still corrode and pit aluminum. So some fluid film will have to do for now, until I can fix that for good. One more ugly area I haven't gotten around to repairing yet. There's some rust bubbling under the rear sliding windows. So I just did a quick spray with the fluid film. The previous owner put some black silicone over it, but it's still rusty underneath. Oh, and look right here. I already repaired this area. Ground it down with a Dremel, applied some etching primer, and then painted it. I sprayed a little here just to be sure no salt sits back there. It might be a problem area on these 80s. They do seem to love to rust. If you're wondering, no, Fluid Film did not sponsor this video in any way. I purchased all this off eBay with my own money. But if you are watching and you're from Fluid Film, if you want to send me some free product, I'll be happy to use it in a future video.